with that, I guess I will kind of get the ball rolling on some of the ideas I threw out there for our different friends to be a part of leading the conversation. And many of you are here. I won't take the time to like introduce everyone by name, but thank you for being here. Once I kind of go through my things, you know how it feels. If you were given some of the different questions and prompts that if you'd like to speak, feel free to do so. My Black voices who can certainly add to these different conversations, you know, please feel free to chime in. Many of you have been here before, so you know that feel and flow. Interracial relationships. It's like, where do we even start? There's so many different things that we can get into, and we will only scratch the surface on it. But some of the basic things that I tried to think about where we can jump off from. I will answer them myself even. You know, what's the current relationship status that you have? I currently have a partner. His name is Sean. He is white. We are partners. We have been together officially, it's like 7-8 years, somewhere in there. We both kind of at one point agreed that we were going to call Valentine's Day our anniversary because we were never very official on labels, which is kind of the way our relationship bloomed. It's always been about an element of balanced companionship and really meeting each other's needs as life dictates. And through that, we became extremely emotionally connected and involved. And that's brought us to where we are today, which is a really happy place. 7-8 years later, with a house together. We don't have any kids. We have, is he back here? He's over here. We have a puppy. His name is Brody, and he is all the sun enough that we need right now. We've talked about maybe getting a second dog or another pet at some point, but I think that's going to be our plan for kids. I'm trying to think, what else did I put in here? Oh, just kind of like dynamics and whatnot. We're both really independent in our work and our pursuits, which we both support each other in. Again, that's part of where our companionship really had this great balance. And we support each other in our pursuits and career choices wholeheartedly and try to demonstrate that support in as many different ways as we can, as often as we can. And, you know, I can't ask for anything more than that. I think there are times when I have asked him to demonstrate it more, and he has done so, and he has asked the same of me, and I have done so. But that really kind of follows that. And so I was reading on this, you know, we have an open dynamic to our relationship, which would often just describe as polyamorous, but there's another term that I think is more appropriate for it, ambiamorous, ambiamorous, yeah. But it basically talks about the different ideas of a polyamorous relationship, but how it actually has a fluidity between polyamory and monogamy that is more in accordance with the individual's lifestyles and structures as they do change. We have an open dynamic to our relationship, and we were a triad, as we called it, identified it, for 4.5 years, which kind of, that structure ultimately was, I would say, initially defined by the third, who was no longer with us in our relationship, still alive. But it was something we all agreed upon and did discuss. And so it really had me reflecting a lot after we broke up, which was last summer, that started to structurally, again, kind of deconstruct itself. It was very more structured than it was anything about, you know, heart issues and jealousy and romance and any of that kind of stuff. And so it was really more of this ambiamorous, open relationship quality that we've been living and that we continue to live with and we're very happy with. Right now, it's just the two of us. Said that, kids. I guess the only thing I would say about, like, you know, experience with families and relationships, I'm super excited to get to share this because as I have been happening through these tough talks, I have my little like revelations of things going on in my life and just in my experience. And I have a number of family members who are here today, which is super awesome. I've had family attending some Tough Talks recently, which has been really exciting. And one of the things I can really easily say is that my family has always supported me in my relationship pursuits. If there was anything that they were ever not totally keen on, and I can definitely attribute this back to being younger and growing up in high school romances and that kind of stuff, my siblings straight shoot with me. They would call it if they thought, that's a terrible decision. That could work. Did I always take the advice? No, most of the time I didn't. In fact, I think I usually went with like the retaliatory response of like, if you say it's not gonna work, then I'm gonna try and make it work, and that's my own issues. But my family, my siblings, my parents, they've always been supportive of my relationship choices when I never made choices for relationships. Coming out was its own thing, and I talked about that in my LGBTQIA Tough Talk, which you can watch on the playlist. I don't need to give that again. But no, they've always been supportive, and even in my adult life, yeah, I mean, my siblings have never given me any criticism or flack for my relationship pursuits, and super grateful.